Hey guys, welcome back to FCT Teens, Formal Critical Thinking Teens. Today is going to be the continuation of the literary devices lesson. So for our first literary device, we're going to be doing foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is when the author tries to warn or indicate about a future event. Like for example, the character noticed a strange silence in a broken mirror. Now, what this can indicate is possibly like death or any hostile energy.
So flashback is when the author goes to the past event to give context, background, or personal behavior. For example, a character being abandoned and rejected from her family so that she is fear from being alone. Next is contrast, when the author shows a clear difference between two things. For example, character A is very selfish, but the character B is very generous and kind. So this demonstrate the distinction between the two characters and show their differences.
Furthermore, moving on, our next literary device will be oxymoron. Oxymoron is when two contradictory words are placed together in order to create an effect. For example, terrible usually means something bad and negative, right? And then positive usually means the opposite, which is good and stands for something positive. Put them together can emphasize a more unexpected and surprising good. Like for example, terribly good. For our next literary device, we're going to be doing juxtaposition. So juxtaposition is when two ideas, characters, or settings are placed together side by side in order to create or highlight the difference between them. For example, a peaceful village is situated right next to a battlefield, which highlights the contrast and shows the intensity of war in comparison to just a peaceful place. So for our next literary device, we're going to be doing irony. Irony is basically a contrast between expectation and reality. For example, a fire station, right? Known for putting out fires through the use of water, but all of a sudden it gets burnt down by a fire, That's called irony.
Euphemism is a more soft and polite way to say something harsh. For example, the writer often write pass away instead of die. The purpose of it is to soften the message.
Okay, so allegory is when the entire story has a sub-meaning underneath it, right? And this meaning usually relates back to morals or politics. For example, let's talk about the story that I'm pretty sure all of us know, the slow tortoise and the fast hare. So the slow tortoise's win over the fast hare represents that commitment and perseverance wins over overconfidence and arrogance, right? And so I feel like that's a great, example.
Similar to allegory, symbolism is also having a hidden meaning underneath something. For example, the dove represent the peace, but the difference is they apply to a single things, like an object, things, or a character.
So, an allusion is a quick reference to another well-known piece of work. For example, the author may say, "This place feels like 1984, describing the place as oppressive and hopeless, but referencing the depressing world of 1984 without actually explaining what 1984 is.
Idiom is where the phrase meaning is different from the literal word. For example, raining dog and cat is mean like the dog and cat is not falling down from the sky, but it's raining very heavy.
So hyperbole is an extreme exaggeration of a word. It is used to make a point or to show a strong feeling. For example, one would say, "Oh, I'm so hungry I can eat a horse." This truly emphasizes how hungry they are, like showing to what degree.
Imagery is when the writer uses descriptive language to help the reader to visualize or feel something. It helps us to set the atmosphere and the mood, make the story more immersive.
And that's the end of the video. We hope you liked it and thank you for watching.